Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you watched the previous video. There we discussed how to provide communication between any two resources which are present in different VPCs, right? Yeah. So now in this video, let us discuss about how to provide communication between different resources which are present in VPC. If you want to provide connection between AWS resources. So let's say this is one resource and this is one resource. If you want to provide connection between any resources, any AWS resources in your account, then you can able to do that by using VPC endpoints, right? Yeah. So in this video, let us discuss more in detail and in depth about VPC endpoints. VPC endpoints. VPC endpoints. So now previously, how do you can provide communication to servers which are present in your VPC? So you have used internet gateway to provide internet access to your web servers, and by using that internet access, again you communicated with other devices, right? Yeah, that is one way you followed. And by using NAT gateway, you can able to provide communication between your resources. And by using VPN, you have provided communication. By using direct connect, you have provided communication by using endpoints. So instead of using internet gateway or NAT gateway or VPN or direct connect to provide communication, we are now using what? VPC endpoints. What are they? VPC endpoints. Now, by using these VPC endpoints, what we are providing now? We are providing now communication between AWS resources. So, why this VPC endpoint is used? To, it is used to, it is used, VPC endpoints are used. VPC endpoints are used to provide connection or communication between resources, to provide connection between resources. Which type of resources? AWS resources. How we are providing? By using any external network? No, by using internal network. By using internal network, we are providing communication or connection between our AWS resources by using this. In simple words, we can even write this as VPC endpoints are used to connect, AWS resources, right? This looks very simple, right? Yes. So VPC endpoints are used for what? To connect AWS resources. By using what? Internal network. So can I say this network is a private internal network? Yes. So it's a private internal network. So I again need to inform one more point regarding VPC pairing. This VPC pairing is also a private network. Private network. It's a private network. So you are providing your private network whenever you're creating your VPC pairing. You are creating a private network for communication between your VPCs, resources which are present in your VPCs in detail. So now let us come back to VPC endpoints. Why do we use this? To connect AWS resources by using what? Internal network. By using internal network, we are connecting AWS resources by using this VPC endpoint. Okay, how many types of VPC endpoints we have? So these VPC endpoints again classified into two types. Those are interface endpoints, and second one is gateway endpoints. What are they? Gateway endpoints. So let us write that as well here. Gateway endpoints, right? Yeah. So we have two types of VPC endpoints. First one is interface endpoints. Second one is gateway endpoints. In order to understand these interface endpoints and gateway endpoints, let us focus on differentiation in between them. So what is the purpose of this interface endpoint? What is the purpose of that gateway endpoints? So let us write purpose. So if we deal with purpose, then this interface endpoint is created to connect AWS services, AWS resources, AWS resources, except, so currently I'm providing the latest details, that is up to this interface endpoint can connect AWS resources except S3 and DynamoDB. So except DynamoDB and S3, it can able to provide these endpoints for every AWS resources, and we can able to provide connection between them as well. So you can say these resources even as services. Services, we call the services as resources, right? Yeah. So in AWS, we call services as resources. So for except you can able to connect by using this interface endpoints, you can able to connect AWS services except S3 and DynamoDB. And you can also connect various AWS services. You can able to connect various services. And you can able to connect to marketplace. You can able to connect marketplace services. So for marketplace partner services also, these interface endpoints we can use for connecting. So why do we use? What is the purpose of using this interface endpoints is to connect to various AWS services except S3 and DynamoDB and marketplace partner services as well. So for this, we use interface endpoints. Now let us see the purpose of gateway endpoints. These are specially designed. These are specially designed to provide access, specially designed for providing access to S3 and DynamoDB. S3 and DynamoDB. So these are specially designed for providing access to S3 and DynamoDB, these gateway endpoints. Now, let us categorize this VPC interface endpoints and this VPC gateway endpoints by using implementation. Actually, this VPC interface endpoints are implemented by using network interfaces. What? Elastic network interfaces. How this VPC interface endpoints will implement? By using elastic network interfaces with a private IP address. So like that, these VPC interface endpoints will be implemented. So let us see how VPC gateway endpoints will be implemented. How these VPC gateway endpoints are implemented is they act as target in route table. They act as target in route table for S3 and DynamoDB access. So based on implementation, how they are categorized, these VPC interface endpoints are able to access by using private IP address. Which private IP address? Elastic network interface with private IP address. By using that private IP address, you can able to access the resources in this VPC interface endpoints. Whereas in VPC gateway endpoints, what happens is we actually provide this gateway as target in your route table. So by providing this as target in your route table, you can able to route the traffic to S3 and DynamoDB. So previously you have created route tables, right? Here in place of target, we place what? If we use the gateway endpoints, then we place gateway endpoints. Then under the destination, we provide either S3 or DynamoDB. In this way, we can able to access these S3 and DynamoDB, and we can able to access this VPC interface endpoint services from other services by simply using private IP address, that is ENI, Elastic Network Interface with private IP address. So let us see the final comparison, that is very important one, that is charge. So finally, when dealing with any services or in any company or in any project, we comes to charge only, right? Yeah. So there will be a huge role of this charge. So for what we will be charged if we use VPC endpoints? We will be charged for data processing, and data transfer. So we will be incurred charge for data processing as well as for data transfer. We will be charged for both in VPC interface endpoints and in gateway endpoints. We will be charged for data processing and data transfer. So now the question is, who create this VPC interface endpoints? AWS will automatically create these VPC interface endpoints for you. So these are automatically created. So which endpoints will be automatically created? VPC interface endpoints. Who creates it? Who creates it? Who create these endpoints automatically? AWS creates automatically these endpoints. AWS creates these endpoints automatically. Whereas coming to gateway endpoints, how these are created? Coming to these gateway endpoints, we need to manually create this. Coming to this VPC gateway endpoints, we need to create it manually. What? We need to create manually. We need to create manually. So let us make it a small sentence. We need to create manually. So just create manually. I think this word will be easy to understood. Create manually. So coming to charges, this VPC gateway will charge you for association as well. If you associate this gateway endpoint to any service, you will be charged. So for the association, also you will be charged for this gateway endpoint. Coming to this VPC interface endpoint, it automatically creates by AWS. So this is how the service endpoints, VPC endpoints will be. So I hope we covered the major points that we need to know. So in order to get the good understanding of these endpoints, so I hope this video is contentful. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye guys.